that office over there. We got the. I honestly thought you were talking to the coaches. That's Madikins. Is that Coach Jose back there? There he is.
Coach Jose doing his work, getting ready for opening day.
Coach Jose, and there he is, El Jefe, the one and only Joe Urso, the defending D2 national champion, the multi-time champion, and a guy I consider a good friend. What's up, brother? How are you?
I'm doing great. How about you, Jay?
Oh man, listen. I was surprised. I had to look at my phone. It was like, oh yeah, the home opener, season opener Friday night. I'm like, probably feel like we were just in Cary like 2 weeks ago. We just did the ring ceremony last week. Like, holy smokes. I mean, no rest for the weary, man. How jacked up are you guys to start this 2025 season?
No, I think all the returners are real excited. Now we get to see what this 2025 team is going to be all about. There's a lot of talent on paper, but as we know, it takes a lot more than just talent to win championships. And hopefully some of these new guys will jump on board and get with these returners and understand what the culture is all about here, so we can make another deep run and hopefully bring back a championship again this year.
What's the first thing somebody says, I want to see this Friday night? What's that one thing you want to see from the team Friday night?
So, I mean, it's Skylar Gonzalez just setting the tone like he did last year. Hopefully he can get things rolling again. There's always going to be nerves on opening day, even for returners, but we'll have a lot of new guys in the lineup. So we've been just talking about, pitching and defense, stay close within those first 5 innings and then let the Spartans hopefully take over the second half of the game.
How about the depth this year? That's another thing. I mean, we see that in all sports. Like, the depth is so freaking important. And, it's a long season. You travel, you're playing these series every weekend, and then you have some midweek stuff going on too. It's such a wild schedule as the year goes on. How important is the depth to your squad, and what does that look like this season?
Yeah, it's a little deeper than I'm used to managing. And with that, I'm going to have to, have a lot of meetings and make sure the personalities, stay with where I want. And they don't get frustrated when they're only playing 2 out of 3 on a weekend instead of playing all 3 like last year. But we're excited about the depth. And I feel like I can throw a lineup out there that's going to be, loaded against left-handers, loaded against right-handers, and maybe try to create, roles for each of these guys to keep a larger group happy throughout the long season.
How long does that take, Joe? How long does that take for you to figure out, all right, this is going to be my guy that we're up by, we're winning in the 7th. This is my guy that I'm putting behind the plate. This is my guy that's going to be, all right, I'm going to move my center fielder to left, and this is my defense specialist in center field. Like, there's so many different aspects, and you and I have talked about this for 2 decades now. When coaches say, I can't get guys into the game. Well, you're not being intelligent enough, and you're not finding a way, because you can get guys into the game, even if it's just a pinch runner, even if it's a guy that's you're a bat off, a relief pitcher. Like, how long does that take, though, to kind of formulate, all right, roles for certain guys that aren't just, hey, I'm going to pencil them in, batting third, playing third every day?
Yeah, I mean, I think it's going to take me about 3 to 4 weeks. We just had an exhibition game last week to see how things were going to look for us. And I learned a lot just on night one. I always tell the guys, the opening day lineup is not going to be the same as that final lineup in the World Series, because there's a lot to learn throughout the year. But it'll probably take me 3 to 4 weeks to understand what's going to be the best for each role, even a sack bunting type role. And it'll probably take them a little bit longer to buy into what I want, probably more into that, 6-week range, where they finally say, okay, well, maybe I'm not an everyday starter here at Tampa, but I do have a major role here, in the last 3 innings coming in to play defense or whatever it may be.
Joe, what's your non-negotiables? What are things that that you don't even have to ask? Like, if you see a guy doing that or behaving like that it's non-negotiable. It's going to be tough for him to be able to find playing time.
Yeah, I mean, it's about the team, and it's about being a good teammate, putting those guys first. I think, that's when everyone will be better. If you're having fun in that kind of team environment, everyone's talent is going to take off. So, we pretty much, we preach that a lot. Obviously, you better be on time or early everywhere we go. So I don't have a lot of rules, but they better never embarrass our brand and what we've created here. And they know that, and they work hard. They don't take it for granted, even though I know a lot of people expect us to win a World Series every year. These kids don't take it for granted. They work hard, and they're there to protect this brand.
I always tell people that the secret sauce to what makes you guys so well is the or makes you guys so good over the years is that just the family dynamic. I mean, every time I go there, I feel welcome and I feel like part of the team. And I see your families there, Jose and Sam's, just everybody's like, family is such an important dynamic throughout this entire endeavor throughout the season. But how do you build that? Like, how long does it take for you guys to create? I mean, obviously last year when you guys win the championship, you're able to create that dynamic, but is it different each year? Does it come through trials and tribulations? Like, do you have to go to a low point to be able to build that? Is it one of those things where it's inherent, where your leaders have to build that type of thing? Like, how does that kind of like atmosphere, how does that get built?
There always is a turning point in the middle of the year somewhere that we really take off as a group and as a family. But we started building that on January 10th, our first practice. We did a rooftop Buccaneer kickoff party in downtown Tampa. We went clay shooting as a group. We did a top golf event. We did a pizza party where Coach Jose cooked pizzas at my house and all the guys were there. We start to create that early in January. But, the total buy-in, it takes longer than that. And my wife will host a parent, get-together happy hour on a Friday, 4 to 5:15 as they prepare to come here. And they'll start to build that family atmosphere in the stands as well. And we believe it takes all of us, to create something special like we did last year.
Yeah, I saw the pictures of the clay shooting. I didn't know they were allowed Coach Jose to have a rifle like that. I thought he was banned from doing that kind of stuff. No, but it's great. And to be able to see that on social media. And speaking of social media, like your video team, like it's pretty badass. You want to talk about players, but is that any part of the recruiting process at all? Do you think that helps? Obviously the success is there, so maybe it's not the greatest question to ask you, but because you have that. It's like, hey, look at the ranks. Like, what you don't need to sell yourself, but you guys are on the precipice and put out these you put out great content on social media too. That's part of the gig. I mean, you and I, we're old school baseball guys, man. We could care less about a video, right? Because it's just like, get down a bunt, hit behind the runner, turn two when you can turn two. But that is a part of the aspect and part of the draw of UT, isn't it?
It's a big part. And when I'm recruiting a kid, I tell them, every head coach on recruiting day has his A game, and they may be able to tell you what you want to hear that day. So go to our social media page. When I tell you I'm going to build a family second to none, go to our social media page and look at those 120 filet mignons that all the parents and girlfriends and players are out there enjoying together. Those they love it. They want to see all this on social media, and it validates everything that we're about.
Joe, give me a returning player that you got high hopes on and a new face that people that have been following UT need to learn the name.
Yeah. I mean, Skylar Gonzalez, 16-0 last year. Nothing's going to happen with a championship unless you have an ace on the mound. So we're going to be looking to him to carry us again this year. And then offensively, Alberto Osuna, 45 home runs the last 3 years at the University of North Carolina, a big-time power transfer for us that is going to be looked to drive in a lot of runs.
Joe, before I let you go, I want to ask you about leadership, and I want to ask you about delegation, because again, I don't want to give away all your secrets, but I don't think it's a secret at all. But the one thing that I really enjoy watching you do is delegate to Jose and delegate to Sam. It's not even baseball. I think any successful business or any successful enterprise, your leader has to be a guy that trusts the people around him to do their job to the best of and the top of their capabilities. How long did it take for you to be able to trust those guys enough to be able to do that? And what is that process before a new season? Because do you ask them to do, I mean, it's easy to be like, all right, Jose, do the same thing you've been doing forever. Sam, do the same thing you're doing forever. But it kind of changes because each season and each team has its own kind of personality, doesn't it?
Yeah, and most of how I managed, I learned in the minor leagues with the Angels. And, I had full trust in my pitching coach, full trust in my hitting coach. So what I want to do is I want them to, take ownership into everything that happens here. And they're another extension of the head coach of me and a head coach. So Jose has every opportunity to give me what he thinks is our starting lineup. So does Coach Sam. It could be in between innings. Hey guys, you want to play small ball this inning? What are you thinking? And obviously it all falls on me, but I love, being able to get all the opinions from Sam and Jose. And I'm very fortunate, obviously. I mean, you're talking about three guys that, really belong as head coach here, getting our minds together to make the best decision. And I'd be crazy not to utilize them like that.
Get out to the Birdcage Friday night. Baseball season is back right here in the Tampa Bay area, the home of the champs, the one and only the UT Spartans. Joe Urso, El Jefe, the man, the living legend. I love you, brother. I appreciate everything that you do here for our Tampa Bay area. Give my love to Jose. See you, brother. And Sammy and the entire crew. Best of luck, man. Take it home. You'll see me a bunch out there supporting our Spartans.
All right. Keep up the great work. Thanks for having us on.
Thanks, buddy. You got it.